What's happening, everyone? Michael Levis here. I asked my future scheduled guests to adapt their advice and responses to current times. This is a COVID-19 special edition where I will ask entrepreneurs how this current epidemic is affecting their business and life and what their advice is for you. I get it, Life Nation. I'm not just a podcast host. I'm an entrepreneur, just like you. My companies are having to pivot and innovate just to stay afloat, and I'm hearing it from guests and colleagues alike. Stay motivated, refocus, and trust me that those companies and individuals who truly strategize to get through this will flourish when it inevitably comes to an end.
You're listening to the Business and Life Podcast, where 7 days a week, proven entrepreneurs share their success stories, failures, and give you true value on how you can build a great business and an awesome life. With your host, Michael Levis.
What is happening, everyone? Today, we're chatting with Mark McTavish. Mark is the CEO and co-founder of Pulp Culture. All right, Mark, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So tell our listeners something interesting about yourself, Mark, and also where you're calling in from.
Yeah, I'm actually here in downtown Los Angeles, but originally a native of Toronto, Canada. And, grew up son of an entrepreneur up in Ontario and been working pretty hard all these years to build my career as an entrepreneur and chased a girl down to California, which made me leave everything behind and start new and start fresh, and decided to start up an alcoholic beverage company here in LA about 5 years ago. So something interesting about me, I don't know. I think probably just the fact that I'm an immigrant for the first time in my life at such a late age. I'm 40 years old now and decided to leave everything behind in pursuit of love and happiness. And I'm just loving it, man. Having a great time here in LA. And there's a lot of Canadians down here, so I feel right at home. But just fresh start down here. Such a late start in life that way. I thought was really interesting for me in my own path.
Yeah, man, that sounds like a really cool, fun new chapter. And, new things sometimes can be scary and challenges, right? But that's an exciting change. So good for you for taking the dive, but also jumping on board here today to kind of talk about the story. Tell us a little bit about Pulp Culture.
Yeah, Pulp Culture is our newest endeavor amongst the various brands that we've created here. But we're basically a house of brands all within the alcoholic beverage realm with a very specific focus on wellness and making better for you products. So Pulp Culture is very unique in the way that it's cold pressed juice that's just been fermented by Mother Nature. So we refer to it as a hard pressed juice, and it's no different than the juice you'd buy at your juice bar down the street. But when you forgot it at home on your counter for 3 months, went back to it and decided it had gone bad, we decided it went good. We didn't dump it down the drain. We put it in a package, and now we sell it to people like you.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. And so is your focus Los Angeles right now?
We're focused on California. We are available in Arizona now, moving to New York.
Nice.
Starting to expand outward, but California has been the focus.
Okay. And what other brands do you have?
There's another brand called 101 Cider House, which is also the physical location down here, downtown LA. You will find a real cider house, a place to go. We've actually built this beautiful day party venue. So we've got a large outdoor venue, beautiful patio. It kind of looks like you're in Ibiza, Spain. Everything is very Spanish and sort of cabanas, palm trees, bamboo. Nice. It's a very tropical, lush environment. And inside, you'll find more of a traditional type of craft beer experience with a tap room and production and warehouse and all of that built in.
So, hey, man, given our current situation with this COVID-19 outbreak, is there anything that's affected or how's this affected your business right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely impacted us in the same way as it's impacted everybody else top line. But looking deeper within, we produce alcoholic beverages, and those tend to do fairly well in times like these. People still want to take the edge off and enjoy a beverage. So we will likely outperform the market from that sense. But as far as where we are specifically within alcoholic beverages, we make a better for you product. So that was hot coming into this, and it will remain hot going forth and probably for years to come, just because better for you is typically the experience that people are searching for now. And, fortunately for me, it took a while for alcohol to kind of join that effort. And now that I'm here with a product like this, it's perfect timing because alcohol has always been seen as a very sinful experience. It's a vice industry, and people didn't really think much back in the day about doing better for themselves when it came to an alcoholic beverage. But now that's a very interesting sort of proposition to people now. Consumers are really excited about the idea of that. and, just reducing or mitigating the tax they would pay previously when drinking an alcoholic beverage. It used to be, the thought of how much can I drink before I drive, or how much can I drink before I know I'm guaranteed to have a hangover the next day. And all of these sort of thought process had to go into the idea of experiencing an alcoholic beverage with friends and enjoying yourself the night before is, do I have to work tomorrow? Do I want to go to the gym tomorrow? What sort of outweighing benefit or tax do I have to pay to enjoy my experience here and make it worthy of my effort,
Yeah, tell us how it is better for you. I think a lot of people listening and myself might think, like, I know it's a better term, of course, than good for you, right? That's almost kind of an oxymoron with alcohol and then, good for you. But tell us how it's better for you, because I think, it's okay from a marketing perspective if we say that we're the better of the, or least of the two evils, if you will, but it's still a better for you product. And I think that you're right, from being, everyone's more health conscious, and that's important. Right. So no one's saying I'm out, I'm giving it up, but there's a better alternative. And I mean, coffee's doing that, right? Bullet head, that kind of jazz. I mean, I think that's a normal process and definitely evolution of alcohol. So tell us a little bit more of how it's better for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's just closer to nature. It's closer to the natural form or natural experience. When you speak about something that's a fermented beverage, they're truthfully not alcoholic beverages. They're fermented beverages first. They just happen to contain alcohol. So alcohol, or ethanol, in the way that we consume it as far as beverage alcohol, ethanol is really just a byproduct of fermentation. So when you speak about these products as fermented beverages, that's a more proper definition or proper reference, because that's essentially what they are. Alcohol is merely an outcome. So when we create these products, we're not creating alcohol. We're merely fermenting juice. And whatever Mother Nature decides is going to be remaining in that beverage when it's done is what she decides. Mother Nature is the one that makes it. So Mother Nature decides when you ferment juice, you allow yeast to eat sugar, which gives you alcohol, yes. But then you also allow the bacteria that's remaining in the juice to eat the acid. That creates a fermentation process, which is a bacterial fermentation. That gives you something called lactic acid bacteria, or lactobacillus, which you see in probiotic supplements and yogurt and things like that. There's also many phytochemicals, nutrients, B vitamins, organic acids, all these things that are very good for your body. Ethanol is merely one of the larger group of things that are possible outcomes from fermentation.
Got it. What kind of decisions have you had to make any hard decisions, man, with all this going down with COVID-19 within the business?
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's tough decisions, but in the way that tough decisions are made typically for companies right now to cut back and lay people off and kind of shut their doors, we've made the tougher decision to say, let's go all in. This is the time for us to really push forth and give people better for you product. We feel like there's a genuine opportunity for us right now. And we love what we're doing, man. I mean, we're so hyped and our team is so hyped that we hardly want to hold them back and say, no, you can't come to work. We are deemed an essential business as well, because we supply the food service outlets, the grocery stores and whatnot. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling, man. I mean, we're definitely at a lower capacity as far as the number of people buying, as far as total accounts, just because bars and restaurants are shut down. We're not doing any of that business right now, but we're really excited about the grocery sector. We're doing well there with Whole Foods and other chain grocers, Bevmo, Total Wine, some of the liquor outlets, we're doing well there. But the direct to consumer is the big opportunity for us right now. Yeah. Now we've got a product that is so definitively rather unique and authentic, just by design. I mean, we're making the simplest form of alcoholic beverages on the planet that nobody else makes. So it's a really raw, authentic, better for you product that people want to enjoy during a time like this when they're stuck at home. They want to, enjoy and relax and take the edge off, but they don't want to be slugging back shots of tequila by themselves. Let's be honest.
What's happening, Life Nation? Michael Levis here. This is a time to do the right thing, not the profitable thing. I'm giving away COVID-19 business strategy sessions for free. I promise to give you my honest advice and coach you on a strategy that I feel would be best for the longevity of your business. I'm not asking you for your money. But in the interest of being able to help as many people as I can, I am asking you to be ready with your 1 to 2 specific questions so we can jump right into it. Go to michaellevis.com/coaching and simply schedule a call on my calendar. That's MIKEOLIVAS.com/coaching. Absolutely. I think it sounds like an awesome concept, and the direct consumer idea for now, I think is a no brainer. I think you're going to create some awesome social proof, right? While this
Yeah.
continues to kind of pan out, and hopefully it pans out sooner than later.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to some of the business owners out there as an entrepreneur that are not as, I guess, fortunate, I guess, that are having to close their doors, and we have a lot of those that some may not be able to open them again because they're waiting on a loan that likely may not come through as soon as they thought it would be coming through, right? So, what's your advice to some of those business owners right now?
I mean, some of the things that have worked really well for me is being a little bit slower to react, and just taking your time to really think things through and lean on the people that you surrounded yourself with that are in the position of being the all-knowing. Those are people like your lawyers, your accountants, your business consultants. Maybe some of the entrepreneurial groups that you're a part of, your colleagues or peers that are also working through this situation. I think it's common across entrepreneurs that we typically look for advice and counsel from others, and we gather that information and do the best we can with it. So don't forget to do that. Don't panic in the way that you think you need to act right away and do things that were perhaps not the right decision. Just because, I think there's an antsy sort of panic vibe right now where people feel like they just need to act. They just need to do something. And, maybe that's not the best decision. Maybe it's better just to collect the information, slow things down a little bit. I always tell people right now, it's like each day feels like a year. There's so much happening in every day now, and there's so much stress and panic, and the clock seems to move so much slower in times like these because we're stuck inside. Things have kind of slowed down. So, maybe take a second to go outside and listen to the birds chirp and see the blue sky and just admire the silver linings of all this. And then, keep in touch with your people, keep in touch with your team, make sure that they know that you're thinking about them as people and that this family that you've built as a business still remains and we'll all get through it together. But then make the tough decisions too and be honest with people. Try and give them a heads up. Try and communicate as to what is the plan. This is what the outcome is today or the decision that's being made today, but where are we going to be a month from now, 2 months from now, and so on and so forth, and give people that idea of there is a plan, there's plan A, plan B, and plan C, and based upon the outcomes that we see in the days to come, that will lead us into whatever sort of avenue we're choosing to go and whatever direction we're choosing,
I think that's great advice, guys. If you're listening, be slow to react. I think that's a really good takeaway and sound bomb. So thank you for that, Mark, because there's, you're not making great decisions when you're freaking out. When's the last time that happened? Right. And so you're just not.
And there's too much emotion involved. We know for a fact, I think from years of experience now as an entrepreneur, I can speak to this, and I think others will agree. The decisions that have greater emotion involved tend to be not the best decisions you make in business. It's better to have no emotion in your decision when it comes to anything business related. You should be taking care of the business and judging what the business needs, what's best for the business, and do that. Don't do what's best for your feelings or your emotions, because when you're driven by that, you tend to react quicker. You react in a way that is not informed. You react in a way that doesn't consider all other people. It just considers yourself or someone that's telling you need to do this right now. It's better to just slow that down, gather the information. And once you genuinely identify a situation where you need to act quickly, as an example, the paycheck protection loans that are coming out now from the SBA, if you're told the day before that you need to be ready by 9 a.m. tomorrow and have all this stuff together to apply for the loan, and it's first come, first serve, then absolutely get your stuff together quickly, contact your bookkeeper, your accountant, get your stuff in order, make sure you have everything ready to go and submit that so you can get that money. That's not a situation to be slow to react, right?
Right.
But overbearing as far as your discussions day to day with your team, with your suppliers, your customers, people that you're working with day to day, try and slow down that communication with them and see if you can get to a point where you're more calm and you're talking through things in a way that's very solutions based and very honest about what's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot to be said about the emotional side as well. Just making sure that you're, don't make decisions out of fear. Focus on the logic of it, right? The strategy behind it. Business is business. You're going to have to make some hard decisions, but there's no reason why we can't be, have the human factor of that, whether it's letting employees go or keeping in touch with them, like you said. So hopefully when the day comes that they just show that you care. And I think that's really important from an employee standpoint and owner relationship.
And also try and acknowledge too, what bucket you fall into, because not all entrepreneurs are the same. Not all businesses are the same. Yes, as human beings, we're all impacted by this virus in the same ways, but not in totality. There are many ways in which you're impacted differently than me, as an example. If, let's say, I have 2 young children at home, I'm impacted in a certain way where I have to be homeschooling and making sure that they're engaged all day long and that they're taken care of because they don't have school or anyone there taking care of them but me, right? Where there could be another entrepreneur that's much younger than me, doesn't have any kids, and they're like, wow, this is great. I can just work out all day and work on my business and be online all day, taking meetings and doing virtual happy hours. This is fantastic. Yeah. I wish we'd be shut down forever. Yeah. So I think you have to be honest about the varying ways in which this does impact people on a more personal level. But as a business, choose the bucket that you fall into. And what I mean by that is look at your category or your segment that you operate within. And if all the other businesses that you're kind of competing with that are in the same bucket are looking at certain solutions and doing certain things to get ahead or survive, look at that and pay attention to that and follow that, right? And you want to make sure you stay in that bucket and think about the things that are relevant to you and your needs. Don't pay attention to a business that's not relevant to you and do what they do, because maybe that's not really going to be relevant for you.
That's right. Mark, where can people find you if they're interested about you and or your products?
Yeah, I mean, Instagram, we're pretty busy on with 101 Cider House. It's at 101 Cider is the handle. And with Pulp Culture, it's at Pulp Culture Juice. But also online, pulpculture.la and 101cider.com. You can always reach me there. Anyone that sends an email through the info account, they all come across my desk every single day. I'm pretty involved that way as an owner. I want to see who's communicating with us. And I always love to see messages from fans or people that are just interested in connecting with us. So that's a very easy way to get me.
Out of all your successes and failures, Mark, what's the one piece of parting advice that you'd give to the business and life nation out there today?
I don't know. I think, as an entrepreneur, I can definitely speak to that. I'll veer on the side of caution with life advice, just because I feel like, who am I to say that? But as an entrepreneur, I love the whole notion that every morning you wake up and take a gamble on something that you genuinely believe in, and that's yourself, and that's, to me, the best bet I can ever make is gambling on myself, because it's the only person in this world that I'm in control of. And, it forces me to get up every day, whether I'm tired or not, or whether I'm looking forward to the day or not. But that freedom that you feel as an entrepreneur, knowing that you have the opportunity to create your own day and create your own experience, and it's that opportunity just to seek out what you want in each day. I think there's such a freedom built into that. And that's what I love most about being an entrepreneur. But with that comes great responsibility. You can't just play hooky every day and not show up. So it is a much harder path, I believe, in a career sense, to be an entrepreneur. There's a lot more work involved. There's a lot more of always being on point and having to show up and be present. But there's such a great freedom within all that if you're a responsible, hardworking person who is thinking strategically and doing what they can every day the best that they can.
Gamble on yourself out there, listeners, entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and, prepare yourself. Get ready. Right now, we have the time to do it, to make that bet. Gamble on yourself. I love that. Mark, thanks so much for dropping some knowledge bombs with us today and for your time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Life Nation, you got to remember that in order for things to change, you must change. And in order for things to get better, you must get better. You just got better by hanging out with me, Michael Libas, and the Business and Life Nation. So come back tomorrow, because I'm here dropping sound bombs 7 days a week, baby. If you'd like to subscribe, please do, so you can take action and execute. See you tomorrow.